Good afternoon, it's the 1st of April, it's April Fool's Day, 1st of April 2024, and what have I been reading lately? I've been reading this book here, My Life as an Undertone, Teenage Kicks, Michael Bradley. And I read this in literally a day, waiting in the Ulster Hospital waiting room at the A&E. It's such an easy read. I love reading the biographies and autobiographies because, you know, they're real, they're authentic. So this book caught my eye whenever I was going past a charity shop, and I bought it for £1.50. It's 220 pages full, and there's plenty of pickies off the guys. There's old Feargal. And I've always liked the Undertones. They're a bit like Madness. You know, they just did their own thing. And they weren't pretentious or anything like that. The thing that the guys liked doing was whenever they'd done a tour, or maybe 2 weeks in London or wherever, they just wanted to get home. They were homebirds. They had very little ambition, you know, to make it big in the charts, although they appeared on top of the pops, I think maybe 12 or 14 different times. And this is Michael Bradley telling about his life and how it all started off and how it all kicked off, and how the band got together, and they're all mates at school and friends, and they used to sit in the back room or the front room of one of their houses, and that's where it all happened. And Teenage Kicks was the catalyst, of course. Brilliant song. I just love Teenage Kicks, and John Peel loved it as well. I think it's probably the only song that he has ever played twice in a row on a show. And this is the Ramones, and the Undertones met them. These were their heroes. And whenever they met their heroes, very often they didn't know what to say, which is quite funny. The guys never got into drugs. They never got into smashing things up or anything like this. They just wanted to go home and go home to Derry. And they had no airs and graces about themselves. And this is them today. The four guys are still playing. Feargal went off, you know, after the Undertones split, and he went off and made what is it? A Good Heart and You Little Thief. They were brilliant records. I really love those, and the official video for them was really good too. But then Feargal got fed up with that and sort of got into environmental issues, and was actually appointed by Tony Blair to some prestigious job. So Michael Bradley joined the school friends in Derry, Northern Ireland at the summer of 1974. And they had two guitars and no singer. 4 years later, the Undertones recorded Teenage Kicks, John Peel's favourite record, became one of the most fondly remembered UK bands of the post-punk era. Sticking to their punk principles, they signed terrible deals. They really did. Made great records and had a wonderful time. They broke up in '83 and they realised there was no pot of gold at the end of the rock and roll rainbow. I think they all married local girls too. His story is bittersweet, heartwarming and occasionally droll tale of unlikely success, petty feuding and playful mischief. They were a real pranksters, these boys. They were just like young lads during 5 years of growing up in the music industry. They didn't quite take their success seriously. Wiser but not much richer, Michael became a bicycle courier in Soho after the Undertones split. 60 miles a day, fresh air, no responsibilities, he writes. Sometimes I think it was the best job I ever had. It wasn't, of course. Michael Bradley continues to play bass with the Undertones, who reformed in 1999, and he is also a radio producer with BBC Radio Foyle. And Frank Cottrell Boyce says, a heart-strumming, soul-drumming book, bursting with delightful melt-your-mouth detail. The book will help you work, rest and play, like Mars bar. The cover is only there to keep it the right shape. It vividly and wittily evokes a time and a place that now sounds impossibly distant, to tell the story of a music that will sound fresh forever. And there's the guys larking about. So if you're interested in a book about the Undertones and sort of pop music at that time, and they didn't fall into any traps that befell a whole lot of other bands, and they didn't get into drugs or any badness, and they came home and they still live in Derry. Apart from this man here. But anyway, there you go. That's what I've been reading lately. And I enjoyed it. It's a very light read. You'll get through it in no time. And brought back a lot of memories for me. And there's a lot of name dropping and all the rest of it. So, worth reading, but doesn't tax your brain too much, which is exactly what I needed in the A&E up at the Ulster. Okie dokie.